Yeah, we designated spitters live every week. Live, designated homie, cause we spit heat. We designated spitters, Francis and Pete. Yes, talking Yankee baseball, hip-hop for the streets. Yup, we designated, yup, we innovative. Yup, we designated, spitters time that you know. Yup, we designated, yup, we innovative. Yup, we designated, spitters, let's start the show.
Well, everybody, what is going on? The New York Yankees are already off to some moves. Some deals have been made. Well, not really deals have been made, but the roster is clearing itself out for a little bit. Anyway, with introductions, do we even have to introduce ourselves anymore? You guys know us.
Come on, y'all already know who it is, man. Stop playing.
Stop messing around. Go follow at one Francis Lee, would you?
Yo, shouts out to I got another 12 followers this week. Man.
Bingo.
It's been a good week. We getting close to 400.
I feel like Larry David. I was about to pull a Curb Your Enthusiasm, man. Remember that episode when he was playing bingo with all the old people, and every time he went, he just go bingo, bingo, bingo.
He kept winning. Yo, they got so mad. Those old people.
Oh man, they got hot. He's
cheating.
They got hot, man. They got hot at poor Larry. But yeah, man, the Yankees making some moves, clearing up some roster space.
Yes,
we
sir.
got Squid is sent back to the ocean, so he's swimming around out there now with the Angels. Rob Brantley was sent to AAA. He elects free agency. Timmy Lowe, recovered from the ACL, is heading over to Boston.
That's
and
right.
then the last one, who's the last one I'm missing? Who am I missing? Timmy Lowe. Who the hell am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody. Timmy Lowe,
Squid, Rob
Brantley, and there's one more.
Greg Allen.
How did I miss Greg Allen? Look at that. Greg Allen, a good friend. FY, everybody. I'm on medication.
Yeah, that's good.
Let me let everybody know ahead of time in case
there.
I fall asleep on the mic any minute. You guys already know that. But that is the 4 that is on the way out. Yankee fans, I got to keep it real with you. It's like almost many of us, especially in the Twitter world of things, want to be upset about something because Timmy Lowe is probably in his heart feeling unbelievable love because a lot of you cats wanted dude to be the starting shortstop. And a lot of you cats were really heartbroken.
You mean Squid. You said T-Lo.
See, I'm out of it. Squid.
Oh, man.
Squid. You guys wanted Squid.
If they wanted T-Lo, that's a problem.
They wanted Squid to be the starting shortstop on this club, on our Yankees.
Yes,
and
sir.
they were very upset that Squid was gone.
Quite
Very
a few
angry.
people.
Greg Allen, too. Greg Allen got some love. People were very upset about Greg Allen also.
Yeah, people were. Not shockingly, I mean, Greg Allen did his thing when he was up here. But I hate to sound like insensitive, but it was just like, bro, they didn't even let him stay up.
and on top of that, too, let's be real. Where are they going to play?
They didn't let them play on last year's roster.
Somebody's raising a hand right now. Be like, Pete, there is shortstop's open. Shortstop is open.
Shortstop is open, but
could have used Squid.
It ain't open for him. I mean, no offense.
No offense to Squid.
Love to the kid, New York kid. Definitely, congratulations, bro. You live in the freaking dream, and you lived the dream. You started for the New York Yankees in a wild card game,
and he got a story forever. He could never. He may never. If he never played in the major leagues ever again, my man has a story that Bronx native, plays for the homers at Yankee Stadium. Come on, man.
Yeah, this kid's a New York legend for life now. That's it. He doesn't have to do anything. Like, that's it. Like, but basically, look, guys, if you're looking at the first, let me get this music queued up because some of y'all you guys were really sentimental. So how do I just want to make sure y'all know that we want to make sure, that we sharing y'all feelings. We understand it's hard to say goodbye to Squid. We get it. Okay? Timmy Lowe Castro. We understand. Timmy Lowe, come on. Rob Brantley, come on. How could you say goodbye to Rob Brantley? I mean, Jesus, Brian, what were you thinking? And Greg Allen. He's going to go and join Park. Remember that? Remember we was all crying about Park? Not Pete. He knew better. I was crying about Park. I know. It's sad. It's sad. All right, guys.
All right, yeah, you want to.
But
If that went about another minute,
they would take us. They take us right now.
I was about to have to start talking to my arm, be like, man, come back to me.
No.
I'm gonna talk to my shoulder. Come back to me.
Man. Listen, I'm telling y'all. Look, if anything, we shouldn't be that upset about this. Why? Because moves had to be made. The roster needed to be cleared up because we have prospects who need to be protected before the Rule 5 draft. So
a lot of guys I'm really excited about too, man.
Exactly.
Oswaldo Cabrera, one of them.
Yeah.
Everson Pieta,
who's coming off a great season. Another one coming off a great season. Like, we would have been upset if those guys weren't protected.
Yeah. If you guys missed, oh my God, he hit him with I'm sorry, I'm watching the UFC fights too, and Chito Vera just hit him with a front kick right to the mouth and knocked him out cold. But if you guys did not see my live when I talked about that, I talked about a lot of those Rule 5 guys that are eligible. You know, even the smaller guys, Steven Ridings is gonna get picked up by somebody if the Yankees don't put him on the roster.
If they don't, hell yeah,
100 miles an hour. I mean, anybody would throw him in the pen and try him out.
His stuff is disgusting.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys there. I talked about Oswaldo Cabrera, who could be a utility guy that could play all over the field for the Yankees now. Everson Pieta is another guy. Who is right there. So they have a lot of guys they need to add. Squid, no disrespect, like you said, to Squid, to Allen, to Brantley, to Brett. We'll talk about Brett, to all these guys who are not there right now. Yeah. You got to add these other guys. That's the talent this team is looking forward to moving, and that's what it is right now. That's the gist of the story. I see some people talk about, oh, Pete, is this is this meaning that a big move is coming? No, has nothing. It's
not
roster,
right
guys.
now.
Not right
yeah,
now.
guys.
It's rosters. That's it.
I think
it's normal stuff.
So let's share some knowledge with some of the our fans, because we want you guys to be educated, because we're Yankee fans just like you. So if there are Yankee fans out there uneducated going out there making some crazy outlandish takes regarding moves like this, it makes the whole fan base look bad. So we're gonna give you guys a real quick crash course on what's happening here. You got to protect top prospects from Rule 5 drafts, because if not, they can get picked up by another team if they're unprotected, and meaning they're not on your 40-man roster.
Garrett Whitlock.
Exactly. Garrett Whitlock, perfect example. We chose not to protect him. Boston chose to grab him. He became an elite reliever this season. So we don't want that to happen with our prospects who are Rule 5 eligible, a la Everson Pereira, a la Oswald Cabrera. Like, you can't have these guys get picked up by another team when we still have plans for them. Steven Ridings, who's a guy, like we just said, throws 100, has nasty stuff. Do you want Tampa Bay able to just pick him up and have him killing us for the next 3, 4, 5 years? Like, right. No. So we have to, some people have to be, released in order for that to happen. So that's what these moves are. Now, these moves are not the moves that preclude signing the big shortstop or a starting pitcher or whatever. No, first of all, it's November. So no big moves happen in November anymore. This is not 90s baseball. Like, December is even early for big moves these days. I mean, look at how slow free agency has moved the last 2 years. Obviously, COVID had a lot to do with that the other year, but free agency has been moving seriously. So, I mean, how long do we know that Garrett Cole was signing with the Yankees? Everybody knew it as almost a foregone conclusion. Right. And look at how long it took. You know what I mean? Look at how long it took to even get him in the building. I think the meeting was not even until like December something.
No, it was late.
So,
it was late.
Yeah, guys, these moves aren't going to happen right now, especially this year,
with a player that could potentially be a shutout or shutdown, whatever the hell word it is.
Exactly. The most important thing to keep, present in our minds as fans this year is that as of December 1st, there is no collective bargaining agreement between the owners and the players. The first thing that needs to happen before any of the big chips fall is the collective bargaining agreement. So you can kiss seeing Carlos Correa sign, or Robbie Ray, or Seager, or Story, and Simeon, any of those guys, you can kiss seeing them sign goodbye until there's a CBA. They're not signing anything until there's a CBA. Right. Because those contracts are way too important for the Players Association for them to have them sign before they know what the parameters of the new deal are going to be. It's not in their best interest. The only thing we might see, and this is a maybe, a big if, is maybe you get someone accept the qualifying offer, which is due by this Sunday or something like that.
Right.
Because if they know, like, I'm not going to get, like, I thought it was interesting, right? The Mets extended Noah Syndergaard a qualifying offer, right? I think that's a really interesting case, right? Noah Syndergaard coming off a year where he didn't pitch pretty much. He's coming off injury. And right now his value is really, really, really skewed.
Right.
So the Mets offered him the qualifying offer, which is worth 18, almost, it's like 18, almost 19 million, which is basically around the neighborhood of $20 million for a year. If you're Noah Syndergaard, you got to take a long, hard look at that. That's $20 million, right? That you can get, go, pitch well for a year, and then go into free agency as one of the top starting pitchers next year. Or you could say, nope, I'm going to test it anyway this year, even though I didn't play or pitch this year. I think I'm going to be able to get a deal with more years and more total money on the end. Take that gamble. But now the team who signs you is going to have to give up a pick on top of signing you as a risk. Right. So that's the only thing that you might see a guy like him decide quickly and say, you know what? Nope, I'm going to take the qualifying offer. I'm comfortable here. It's a show me deal. I'll just accept it right now here in November. No need to play it out. But any big moves aren't going to happen anytime soon. So these roster moves for the Yankees have no bearing on what's going to happen at first base, shortstop, center field, catcher. The only thing that now catcher is an interesting one, right? Because Gary Sanchez has to be tendered a contract by a specific date in December. I think it's somewhere near the first week of December, but I could.
It's coming up. I think it's like the 4th.
It's coming up
for some reason. I want to say the 4th.
Okay, so then it's early in December, and he needs to be tendered a contract by then, along with everyone else who needs to be tendered, right? Or all the other non-tender questions that we have, right? Clint Frazier, Andujar. Like, there's a couple of non-tender questions on the Yankees. That's going to be interesting to watch, because regardless of what the CBA is, the Yankees are going to need to make those decisions on whether they're keeping these guys and paying them or non-tendering them and seeing what happens. So
it's December 1st.
December 1st. All right. So so it's the same day. So basically that's the deadline for non-tendering.
Yes. So that's basically the time where the MLB non-tender deadline, that's when you basically, after that, you'll see a lot of guys added to free agency. So it's typically early. So this is telling me it's December 1st is the deadline.
Yeah. So basically what we're seeing is that the Yankees have a couple weeks to, get together and make these decisions on what's going to happen with guys like Andujar, Frazier, and Gary Sanchez, because these decisions need to be made.
Frazier, to me, and I mean, we'll talk about all these guys. I know we're on catcher, but I think Frazier, I mean, I non-tender Frazier, to be honest, at this point.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% with you.
I understand, what people. Well, what if you can't work off what ifs? You really can't. We got to stop doing that as a franchise, and the Yankees do that too much. We do this. Oh well, maybe this, or if this happens, if that. No. We need some sure bets here. Yeah. We need some guys who we have an idea. And I know nothing's ever for. You don't ever take anything for granted. You don't know if a guy's gonna come here be the same guy. You don't know if a guy's not gonna get injured, or anything could happen. We know that, but. This team definitely needs some sure things on it, and whatever it could have been for Clint Frazier, we have no idea what position he would have played, even if they bring him back. Let's say, what is he doing? Yeah, is he on a major league roster? Is he Brett Gardner, not a fourth outfielder? But then again, they got Hicks. Yeah, they got Hicks. They who's going to be the fourth outfielder now? We don't know these questions yet. The big story to me that's going to really tell you what the Yankees offseason is going to look like is catcher. Catcher. Gardner's a part of it too. Gardner's a part of it too. If they bring him back,
I think you're right. Yeah.
So again, everybody knows this already. The Yankees, they both declined options and whatnot. Gardner's a free agent. We know that now. I see a lot of people already jumping into the celebrations. Hey, Brett Gardner's gone, which is kind of fucked up if you ask me, but it is what it is. I get it. I get you don't want him back. The guy's been a terrific Yankee. He's a role model for players. The guy's I don't think I've ever seen him not run a ball out. You guys defend. No, you guys defend Gary Sanchez more than you defend Brett Gardner, which is pretty upsetting to be honest.
Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres. When you got a guy Gardner, he's towards the end of his career. You could beat him up now, but don't sit there and look at somebody in the face and be like,
I'm happy he's gone. The man busted his ass all the time, so you can't knock him on a lot of different things. But don't count your chickens before they hatch. Gardy could still be back. And Francis, I agree with you. So you guys hear me saying it right here. Brett Gardner should not be back. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. I love Brett Gardner. I like Brett Gardner. It is time to move on, no doubt about it. And Gary,
those moves,
gotta move on, fam. You gotta move on. Gotta move on.
No. So I'm with you 100%, and I think I agree that those moves, like, here's what I want to say. Right now, we have no indication, right, other than what insiders are reporting that the Yankees are going to do this and do that.
And they've done it before, and nothing has happened.
But they've done it before. I mean, it happened with Corbin. It happened with so many. I mean, Bryce Harper. There's so many. The list goes on. Machado.
That whole offseason, we were supposed to load up, remember?
Yeah. We were supposed to, exactly. And do you remember how long it took for those guys to sign? So, guys,
very long time.
Like,
buckle up, stay with us.
Buckle up. It's gonna be a while. Trust me. Because I mean, think about it. If the CBA negotiate, if there's a way that they can figure this out, and there's not a lockout after December 1st, but all signs point to a lockout on December 1st.
Yep.
So if that happens, what really throws a wrench in things is that the lockout happens. They will meet probably for the first couple of weeks of December, and then everything shuts down for the holidays. You got Christmas, New Year, or whatever. So I
wonder how the winter meetings would even work. Well, there's still trades that can happen, so that's
they won't even
do it, right?
If there's a lockout, the owners don't do. They don't. Not the owners. They don't do winter meetings.
They won't do none of that. Okay.
None of that. So it's like everything gets delayed. Not that the winter meetings really has been a hub for deals these past couple. Now they're just like It's like fan service at this point. Yeah,
you know what it's like? It's like one of those damn conventions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like, a convention you go to.
Exactly. It's becoming like a thing where it's like it's fan service. Like you go there, you're gonna see your team's broadcasters, you're gonna see your team's GM, you might see an owner, you might see a player or two. But not like a top tier player. It's like gonna be like a regular lower level guy who's like meeting with somebody at the winter meetings or whatever.
Looking for a job and shit like that.
But big deals or big trades haven't gone down at the winter meetings in years. So, I mean, it's crazy that like the CBA is looming and like you don't really see much movement about the fact that they're gonna lose the winter meetings because they don't really care, to be honest.
Right.
Because and I think the advent of this has really thrown everything up. Like cell phones really throws like everything to a different place, where you don't have to be in front of people. You don't have to like be at a landline having these conversations. Like everybody's on the phone. They're texting about deals now. Like they're on WhatsApp. They're on whatever. So it is what it is. But the most important thing for us, this is me talking. I could be whatever. I could be wrong. I think Pete agrees with me. Yankee fans, if you want to really gauge what's going to happen this offseason, the earliest sign you're going to get is in early December. And it's going to be like what happens with guys like Clint Frazier, what happens with guys like Gary Sanchez. Most importantly, Gary Sanchez. If you see that the Yankees tender him a contract, and that means that, make no mistake about it, if he's tendered a contract, he's the starting catcher next year. That's it. It's not like, oh, they're going to give him a contract, but like they're going to look to upgrade him. No, they're not. If he gets tendered a contract, he will be catching games in 2022.
You don't think they'll look to trade him?
If they tender a contract for him? I don't know. Here's my thing. This deadline came and went without any talks about Gary trades. And it was just like he didn't necessarily boost his trade value after the trade deadline. It's pretty much more of the same.
I just hold off the fact that the DH in the National League. I feel like you got a little bit, but like you said too, that's the CBA. So
which is something that's coming after the CBA. So maybe that's
I mean, hey, look, I'm under the belief. My belief is that Gary Sanchez is going to be the catcher. I told you they got to prove me wrong on everything this year. Until I'm bought in.
No,
right?
You're right.
I mean, we're at our wits' end right now where this club is, and we've been begging for the changes. So
what
for
reason
me
do
personally,
we have to trust them?
None. There's no track record that shows that all of a sudden they're going to snap out of this spell and say, philosophy changes, we're moving on. They are so bought in to analytics, making all the calls, that you'll see your Gallo's in left field. I read a quote about Gallo today, and it made me sick. I think I put it in the chat with you guys. It made me sick, and it's from before. You know, I think it was early in the year when he's talking about like, oh, well, I'm a player who bases off OPS. I can hit 200. And I'm like, I'm sick of this nonsense. You cats are out there like shitting on players like Tony Gwynn, for real. Because that's what that means. Oh, because I hit for power and singles don't mean shit. So Tony Gwynn wasn't a great hitter? Gallo, you're a better player than Tony Gwynn?
Nah.
Come on. I mean, that's my point. Like, that's the shit. Those are the analytics stuff that really bother me. The cats that have come out, batting average means nothing. So he could hit 200. Get it? I don't want nobody on my team hitting 200.
Yeah, but I agree. I agree with with that 100%. Anyone who's like on that bandwagon of the whole, because that's that fucking catchphrase with analytics people. Batting average doesn't mean anything. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. What are you talking about? It doesn't. That's the
reason the whole thing started about Jeter being overrated.
Yeah,
because of analytics.
Because of analytics.
Yes,
and it's
100%.
like, here's the thing. But that to me is, there's no greater proof that analytics should not be the end all be all than the fact that analytics say that Jeter is overrated. Because if you saw Jeter with your own two eyes, then you realize there's no such, you can't overrate that guy.
No.
What he brought to the freaking field every game, day in and day out, is something intangible. You can't even find it in the numbers. But if you go look at the numbers, career batting average over 3,000 plus hits. Like, this guy was
3,500 plus hits.
Box office. He showed up every time he was in the playoffs. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, because analytics say, and defensively he wasn't. Shut up.
Well, the thing that truly really aggravates me about this whole analytic thing is not necessarily that it's just the numbers, but they do that stupid ass thing, right? So they'll do this. You'll say, who was I looking at yesterday? I was looking at Buster Posey and Posada, because people got with this whole thing that, oh, Posada's overrated. How dare anybody compare him? And I remember I said, well, I mean, somebody brought up all these analytic numbers. I said, let me go look at something. I think Buster Posey's career WAR is like 2 above Posada.
It is. It's
2
very
points.
Close.
Now, I do understand. I believe Buster Posey played less games than Posada did.
He played way less, yeah.
But the funny thing about it is, like, when people talk analytics, I've had this happen so much now. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm not even arguing with these cats about it. Like, I'll just leave it alone. Because if one number, they'll say this is the famous line about a certain number. Oh, that's not a good metric to look at. Look at this one.
Exactly. But
so you're always going to find a number that helps your argument out. It's stupid. Yeah. No, let me see what the guy is on the field. Okay, I know who Joey Gallo is. But don't sit there and tell me that Joey Gallo is a better player overall than the guy that hits 289 every single year, hits 20 homers, 15 homers even. Not. He's not better.
Listen,
Joey Gallo said, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to say that.
No, go ahead.
To me is so stupid. He said, well, I hit 200, but I have an on-base percentage of 330. So that means I get on base 33% of the time.
Yeah. Not great.
And my thing is, too, Joey, if you batted about 20 points higher, you'd be about 350.
Exactly.
35% of the time. Well, when I hit the ball, there's more impact, or, a homer is worth more than the single. Yeah, but you also don't get 200 homers in a year, do you?
No.
So you need guys that do that. Yeah, I'm understanding you're saying you're not that guy, and I understand that. But you sound like one of these cats that's trying to prove to people that you're actually better than what your numbers show.
Yeah.
And to me, that's annoying.
No.
That's like the Yankees trying to convince us that Aaron Hicks is his all-star, this great player, just because he walks a little, hits for power, and that's it. Like, I'm like, no, stop this nonsense. It's madness.
But this is what happened. What has happened with analytics is that they've taken a million mediocre players, right, and found the one aspect of the game that they're good at, and have just inflated that to be like, but this is why this guy is a star. This is why he's elite. This is why he deserves this contract or this money. It's like, no. Like, for the ones who tell me, oh, batting average doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, then how come all the top players in the game tend to have high batting averages? You can't tell me, oh, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't look at it. No, why shouldn't I look at it if all the players that I like happen to, is it a coincidence that Ronald Acuna normally has a good batting average? That Machado normally bats higher than 200? That Bryce Harper
has somebody ever won the MVP award hitting 200?
No. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Is it a coincidence?
Well, Francis, the game is changing now. Somebody's gonna do it. You just sit back and watch. Somebody will do it.
Yeah, I'll be.
This
waiting.
is how they watch the game, like Hernan said.
Yeah, exactly.
The game's over there.
Get your head out of your freaking laptop every now and then and look at the actual game on the field, because you're gonna learn something from that too. There was a time where we used to learn from what we saw.
Facts. And the crazy thing is, though, people will see this and they're gonna, oh, you don't like the numbers. No, I like the numbers. I like analytics.
Of course,
It's fun.
It helps.
Trust
and it
me.
helps.
When I look at players, I look at analytics.
Yeah.
I look at their overall numbers, but there's a lot more that goes into a player than analytics. Derek Jeter's the prime example, 100%, like you said before. Jeter's the prime example of that. So, I mean, it's comical in a sense, but, you know, getting back to what we were talking about, I'm right there with you. Whatever it is with Gary Sanchez, to me, at the end of the day, that's something they got to figure out pretty early on. I don't think you want to wait around too long to see who your catcher is. You want those relationships to start building early. Catching is very important. To change catcher mid-year is very important. I said last year the Yankees should have done it because I think Gary Sanchez is a joke behind the plate. When your ace doesn't want to throw to him, towards the end of the year, Kluber didn't want to throw to him. You got two-fifths of your rotation not wanting to throw to him.
There's rumors that more than that don't want to throw to him.
Bro, I'm telling you, I reported on it when David Robertson was a Yankee. The person I spoke to told me flat out the reason Robertson is getting hit, and he's asked the Yankees about it, is because he can't throw his breaking ball in the dirt with Sanchez catching.
I mean, but this is
and remember when Robinson comes into games, he never came into games to clean innings. They'd always break because he was Houdini. He'd get out of anything.
Yeah,
that was the thing. And it was when he struggled a little bit. It's because they said flat out, and this is when I put all that news out there about Gary, and I took a beating for it. They said flat out, Robertson does not. He's asked him about it. He cannot throw a ball in the dirt, so he's elevating his curveball when Sanchez is catching. And he's getting smacked
which is not good because you need to be able to throw that shit in the dirt.
This stuff continues to go on. Yeah. And if the Yankees, guys, I'm telling you, if the Yankees don't change at catcher, they are not serious about fixing this club next year. Not serious at all about it.
Yeah, we can't. Again, I got into, a couple of conversations earlier in the week, speaking of with some Sanchez defenders.
They're still around, believe it or not. They're still around.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them around. And I think me and my guy Earl we were in agreement. Like he posted something, and I would literally respond. And you came out with a video, I think that same night. I literally responded.
I think it was actually based off of a lot of that what was being said.
The conversation.
Because I saw it and I was like, I got to make a video on this.
Yeah, dude. I literally responded and was like, "Here's the issue, guys. Like, you guys want to keep telling us about." The offensive potential and whatever like that, whatever. And like, oh, there's nobody better offensively than Gary for us right now that we're not going to get. Here's what I'm here to tell you. We know. We don't care. Like he can go take him and his 20 plus home runs and send it somewhere else. We don't need that. That doesn't move the needle enough for this team because the way that the roster is currently constructed, we could do without his 20 plus home runs,
bro.
And you're gonna say, oh, but the offense was stagnant this year. We needed more offense, not his brand of offense. And couple that with the fact that defensively, he's probably costing us even more runs. Yep. No, we don't need that. Give me a light hitting catcher. If my catcher bats 200, guess what, Gallo? Him, I don't care about. If he's batting 200, but he's framing the shit out of pitches, stealing strikes, and guys like Clay Holmes and Loaisiga and everybody comes in and feels comfortable throwing whatever the fuck at him, then he's doing his job. Let him bat 200 at the bottom of the lineup. I don't give a damn. And let him run into one 12, 13, 14 times a year. Because what a good catcher does for your pitching staff cannot be like,
no,
I don't know how many times we got to go through this with people.
Yeah,
you guys don't understand how important that position is.
Look, if his offensive production was Salvador Perez this year, then you got a case.
Then we could talk something different. Of course.
If he's a Salvador Perez, if he's a Jorge Posada, if he's a Mike Piazza, if he's a Pudge Rodriguez, then yes, guys, it is a different conversation. And trust me, you'll be hearing me say the same damn thing 150% all the time. I am utterly shocked by the amount of Yankee fans who literally will die on the hill of saying you can't make up his production. And I'm telling you right now, you know what I'm saying? If when I hear that, I'm saying, bro, you don't know baseball. You don't know what this team needs. No. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not even insulting you, but you don't get what this club needs. If you're sitting there saying, and I said this in my video, we know we're probably going to end up with a catcher. Even if we don't, we're going to end up with some new bats. Gallo in left field, whoever in center, who cares? Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres were expected to be better. If Anthony Rizzo comes back, whoever's going to be a good first base, you know they're going to get somebody that can hit there. What do you guys want from a cat? Who cares? And on top of that, how long are you going to wait? How long are you going to sit back and wait to see pitchers not want to throw to the dude? You think all of a sudden Garrett Cole's going to say, okay, new year, new Gary, let's go? No. Why would he?
He's not going to.
And unless Boone changes, he's not going to put him in a room and say, guys, enough is enough. Let's hash this shit out.
Here's my thing. And the more I think about it, because I remember like Kernan said it and I was like, I get it. But to me, that's something that should have happened early on
the
in
beginning.
that relationship.
It's hard to do it now.
At this point,
it makes no sense.
There is no reconciling that. And
Fam,
you know what?
It's a lost cause at this point.
And you know what? Gary hasn't done a damn thing to help it.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying that he was supposed to go and kiss Garrett Cole's ass because, like I said, in my opinion, Garrett Cole seems like kind of a weirdo. So I'm not saying he was supposed to do that. But if he would have been better performance-wise, he wouldn't have to. You understand? You think Garrett Cole gives a shit about Kyle Higashioka? Please give me a break.
If he left tomorrow, you think he's gonna go to the Yankees? Look, that opt-out clause is happening. It's happening.
Garrett Cole is probably going to freaking the Yankees right now, talking about, hey, I don't know if you know, but Maldonado's a free agent. Just saying. Yeah. He doesn't give a damn.
He's probably saying, hey guys, you might want to watch this guy on NY News Guy talk about some new catchers. That Jacob Stallings actually sounds really good. You probably trade for him.
I don't know. I like him. I mean, hey, I don't know. Just saying.
Francis, I gotta ask you, man, who's your catcher? Who's your catcher?
Who's my catcher? Right? I saw your video the other day, and I gotta say, out of the guys that you brought up, if I could have any of them, it's definitely Stallings. And
so,
it's like you said, I like Carson too, but Stallings.
The one thing I said about that in that video is if you want, so a lot of fans are talking about these guys, and this is like the big topic of trade right now because they're talking about moving Dalton Varsho over to catcher. And then, Carson Kelly, was he too talented? He's too talented to be on a bench. He's not going to be a backup. But you look at that, and the thing about Carson Kelly is if you're waiting for production and you're waiting for potential to kick in, Carson Kelly's your guy. If you're also maybe not looking to have the best catcher for your pitching staff right now, maybe Carson Kelly's your guy. But guys,
the injuries guys, too, though. The injuries too. You got to think about that.
And guys, I want to win.
Sorry.
I want to win. And let me tell you, I understand. Look, if anybody was like Pete, but I'm not knocking Carson Kelly. Hell, I was probably one of the first people to even mention his name and talked about him since end of last year. Yeah. Since actually during the year of last year.
Yeah.
Carson Kelly would be a tremendous pickup. Wouldn't be upset. But the Yankees want to win right now, you need somebody to handle the pitching, handle the young guys until Antonio Gomez or Wells is ready. And I'll tell you this right now. You're going to get 2 very good years, barring any injury, and you know what you're going to get from Jacob Stallings. Yeah. You know what you're going to get. Expect nothing offensively. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he had his best offensive year. Yeah. So don't get me wrong on that, but you're going to get one of, if not, I'll say this, the best defensive catcher in baseball.
Yeah, listen, what we have to understand is we look at offense in a way that's very, very, very skewed. Like, when people look at Jacob Stallings, they're going to be like, oh, but he's like, they traded for this guy? Like, what's the deal with him? Like, he doesn't really hit that crazy. He's light hitting, whatever. Yeah, maybe if you're looking at him like a 4, 5, 6 hitter, then it's like, oh, it doesn't seem that much or whatever. Jacob Stallings batting 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, why not?
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly where a bat like that should be. My argument with these people is it's simple as this. You want to argue with me about Gary Sanchez's numbers and him being probably one of the best offensive catchers in the game since he came up or whatever? You can argue that. There's numbers that support that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But here's my thing. Let's look at the past couple of World Series and look at the catchers who were playing in those World Series. Okay, you had Zunino with the Rays. You had Maldonado. In 2019, the Nationals were platooning with Suzuki and who else?
Gomes. Was it? No, it wasn't Gomes yet. Was it Yan Gomes?
It wasn't Yan Gomes. I thought they had 2. They were platooning. It was Suzuki and Gomes maybe.
I think it was Gomes.
I might be getting that wrong, but
they'll
I think
let
it
us
was
know.
those
They'll
2.
let us know in the comment in the section here.
The Dodgers are another team that go through catchers or whatever. But who would they have this year? Wasn't it
Smith?
Smith, Wilson, yeah, Smith. The championship, Atlanta Braves, Travis d'Arnaud. Like, we can do this. We can continue going on, but I think you're beginning to notice the trend here. None of them happen to be lighting up the league in terms of offensive numbers. Let me tell you what they do though. Let me tell you what they do. They play in big games because the aces are comfortable pitching to them. They play entire games because the bullpen is comfortable pitching to them. And they make the fucking plays. God forgive me because I'm cursing so much, but it gets me so angry that I have to argue with people about Gary Sanchez. I was as big a defender of this guy as anybody when he first came up. I was like, this guy's going to be great. He's one of the better pure hitters on the team we have or whatever. He fell off a cliff. That wasn't me. No, I didn't tell him to stop working. I didn't tell him to get complacent. I didn't tell him that he did. I didn't do that. The other part was I wasn't the one who tried to make him into this great power hitter, whatever, and then automatically make a sharp left and say, no, you got to be a great defensive catcher. That was the Yankees. Okay. That's on them. That's not worked. That's done. If we are serious about winning a championship, we need to build a championship roster. I am sorry if you guys don't understand that Gary Sanchez is not the starting catcher on a championship roster. Gary Sanchez can very well be the DH on a championship roster. I would never argue that because I think if he didn't have to worry about catching and all he had to focus on was hitting and he could become whatever he wanted, he'd be a phenomenal freaking DH. The problem is we have a DH that's costing us between $25 and $27 million already. So that's not going to happen. So that means he doesn't fit, guys. He's a nice puzzle piece for somebody. He just doesn't fit our puzzle. That's what I'm trying to get to people.
I agree. I agree 100%.
We shouldn't be sitting here talking about, oh, we can't get rid of him. I mean, how are we going to replace that offense? Hello, we can get a center fielder who hits. We can get a shortstop who hits. We're getting a first baseman who hits.
We could get a full year of Anthony Rizzo and Joey Gallo. I mean, or Joey Gallo alone. I mean, that's more than making up his production. Can we be fair here? So
think about it. Give Joey Gallo a full year on the Yankees, especially coming up after the trade or whatever. Give him a full year, maybe a little bit of comfort.
And look, my thing is,
don't tell me he's not going to hit better than Gary Sanchez. Defensively, we already know what Gallo brings to the team.
Right. And the thing is, too, about a guy like Gallo, look, I'll sit here and tell you, God forbid, hopefully I'm wrong, but who knows if Joey Gallo is going to be the same guy he was last year. And he's going to bat 200 or under 200 to be the same. I mean, 200 is kind of what he's been all his career, but
he's
who knows? You know, who knows what Joey Gallo is going to be? He might be terrific. He might work on some stuff and be even better, but you cats that are out there talking and screaming about production, contract year, you guys are screaming about production, but you already got it. So that makes no sense. And on top of that, I'm sorry, I'm going to sit here and tell you, Sanchez is not a winning player. He's not a winning player. He's not a winning player. I don't want that on my team. If you guys seen me recently, right, on, that's this. I don't know. I kept saying like something, like my shirt dirty or something, but then I'm moving and the thing isn't moving. I'm drugged, everyone. The funny thing about the winning players, if you guys saw, I kept retweeting players that you could tell stepped up and enjoyed it and enjoyed being there. I said winner. Freddie Freeman talked, and you could see the words that man had coming out of his mouth. None of that was written. The dude is a winner. Not because he won. You could hear it in his voice. There's confidence. He knows his shit. He knows his team. He knows how good he is. He knows what he means to that organization. He is a winner.
He's been a winner long before they won the World Series. Right?
Francis, do you even understand, right? The moment right now on the Yankees roster, there's no World Series champions.
No.
There's no World Series champions. The New York Yankees, they have nobody on their roster right now.
In terms of winners, we don't have very many.
Judge?
Not as many as you guys think. Judge is a winner.
You could probably name them.
Judge is a winner. Garrett Cole is a winner. I'm going to say Giancarlo Stanton is a winner.
Oh, yeah. The way Stanton has stepped up and the way he talked towards the end of the year, I was all over him. Look, I've said bad things about Stanton in the past, but I admit when I'm wrong. I tell you what, my man had me pumping hitting my chest. Because, literally, the dude stepped up. No doubt.
Hell yeah. In Boston,
he had the right attitude, too. His attitude was, let's go. His attitude was, we stepping on the field for war, boys. Let's go. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Let's go do it.
He's a winner. Who else? Let me see.
Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone. Oh man, we
He's
telling
the
jokes
winner.
on here today.
He's the winner of a 3-year contract extension. That's
He's
about it.
he's the winner of a lifetime box of unicornios. Aaron Boone.
Let me tell you, Gio. I'll give you this. Gio Urshela is a winner. Urshela is a winner.
In his face, he wants to play ball. He wants to be out there.
He wants to, and
he gets upset.
That story was it Kernan who told the story?
Yes.
I want to give him credit every time I say that story about Gio out there, fielding ball, whatever, in the rain,
Gio
on
and
a rain
DJ
out.
and LeMahieu.
Yeah, Gio, DJ. Outside of that, who am I missing? Because Gary Sanchez, no. Gleyber Torres, no. Aaron Hicks, no. I mean, and don't give me the Aaron Hicks. Oh, but you're saying this because he's injured. Nope.
No,
there was
man,
that whole
come on.
bullshit. There was that whole bullshit with the protests on earlier in the year. And trust me, I sympathize with all that shit. I'm a person of color. Don't even try it with me.
Right.
But to say that I'm not playing because of whatever, when you could have gone out there and made a statement with your play.
Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. It looked bad. It was a terrible call.
Stanton was with you, right?
Played.
Stanton was another one who was kneeling for the anthem and everything. But didn't he go out and play and stuff like that? What was your excuse, bro? I don't want to hear it. And Stanton really has less incentive. Stanton had less incentive because he's already getting paid. Yeah. He's already making 20-something million. He has less incentive than anybody, but he was out there playing under the booze, under all that shit. So, Hicks, no, not a winner.
You know what also would tell you a lot about the Yankees? If they go, we can't move Hicks, but he got to earn a spot. He's the fourth outfielder. And they pick up a center fielder. That right there, I tell you right now.
Move and a half.
Shit like that ever happened, you guys are going to see me on here with a different tune.
Oh,
because
hell
I'm telling you guys, I've been saying it, Francis, everybody knows I've been talking this shit like this for so damn long. I can't see Brian Cashman come up there and give his same bullshit. Well, we're a Death Star, we're ready to go.
Fully operational.
We're gonna be looking at everybody. It's kind of what we do every year. And Yankee fans, you're gonna buy into my shit, aren't you? So you're gonna come back and you're gonna buy some $30 bucket chickens and this. No, I'm done. I'm done.
No, of course.
You know what they say? Put up or shut up. That's it.
Yeah, no.
This is your last year. Put up or shut up and get out. Pack your shit and go.
Serious move. This is what I'm saying.
And my prediction right now, 1 or 2 moves. That's it.
What, like 1 or 2 moves that actually
big
move
shortstop.
the needle,
They'll get something to tickle off fancy a little bit. They'll tickle off fancy. Might be Correa. Might be Sager.
Yeah, I feel
they'll tickle off fancy a little bit and say that's it.
I feel like, look, if you look at and we'll get into the Correa thing because I know we just mentioned Correa, so everybody's ears are gonna go up.
We'll definitely gonna chat about him a little bit. We'll
get into that, but I think the point is, and I sympathize 100% with you here, Pete. Like, look, I don't know if we're the only ones saying it, but I'm not hearing it a lot of other places. Like, some of you guys sound like you're gonna be okay if they make 2 moves. And they're going to be like, all right, let's run it back. What team are you
watching? That's all I want to know. What team have you been watching?
I am telling you, we are not crazy to think that we need to see 4 to 5 different names in that opening day roster than the names that were on it. Than the names that were on it in 2021.
And look, I'll help the Yankees out. I think me and you agree with this. I think we said this before. I'll help the Yankees out.
Yeah.
I'll count Rizzo as a new name. He wasn't in there at the beginning.
100%.
Gallo, I'll already count Gallo as a new name. I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Same. That's what I'm saying.
Catcher needs to change.
Center
field needs to change. And they got to get a shortstop. And then in there, saying. But in there, I could see a new third baseman. Again. I could see a move at second base. But see, these are things that we could see. We could see these things happening. Now, will they have the balls to do anything like that? That's another story.
That's the question.
That's another story.
The question.
Because
for all of you saying that we're crazy, we're right to doubt because they've given us every reason to doubt.
They've always done this. How many? Look, I mean, come on. Let's be real. Let's be real here when we talk about this. And when I say be real, I know Francis is going to be real, but I'm asking you guys who are listening to be real with us. When we talk about the track record of what the Yankees do, you can't sit there and tell me that you can't hear the conversation already come spring training from Brian Cashman. Well, we got a healthy Aaron Hicks back in center field. We feel we greatly improved. You don't hear that already?
I definitely
hear it right now. So I'm just sitting here saying this team really needs to show its fan base that they are willing and ready to make the right changes. Simple as that. And it can't be a Correa. It can't be, hey, we got the big shortstop. All right, 28, here we come. We ready for it now. Can't be that, guys.
It can't just be on him. That's the thing that people don't understand. Is like, look, I don't even like. I'm not even. Well, I forgot. I think I said I was like under 20% that they would sign Correa on the last episode.
Yeah.
That percentage has gone up slightly. I'll tell you guys why in a second, but let me tell you, it's still not even over 50. So don't like, it's not. But say they did go out and sign Carlos Correa, the best shortstop on the market right now, arguably one of the best in the game or the best in the game. Some people say he's the best, some people don't, whatever. That's not going to be enough. I'm sorry. It's not going to be enough. And to put that pressure on Carlos Correa would be fucking ridiculous because he can't do it by himself. It takes a full lineup and you have to work together. Look at how Atlanta just did it. Anthopoulos didn't just go out and get one outfielder at the deadline and say, hey, I got it. I know we were struggling in outfield, so I went and grabbed one. No, he went and got four
Hell of a
outfielders.
job.
4 outfielders. And again,
I'm sorry to cut you off right there.
No.
But I want to bring this up because you're right. You brought this up. But going back to Freddie Freeman's speech, he specifically said what the front office did for this team. The players took it in and said, let's go.
Amen. Exactly.
That's why I always talk about.
That's a really good point.
And look, Cashman did it. I pat him on the back. We gave him his flowers for it when the time was there.
We definitely did. It sent the right message.
He sent the right message to the club.
It sent the right message. It sent the right message.
Nobody is saying that he didn't do that. So FYI. But what I'm saying is how important a deadline really is. What it means to a ball club. It's very important.
Not just a deadline, but an off season.
An off season is huge.
The same way that deadline was as important as it was for Atlanta, I think this off season could be even more important for the New York Yankees. You put out that video that this is probably arguably the most important off season of Brian Cashman's career. I agree wholeheartedly.
Too much to prove. He got too much to prove.
I agree wholeheartedly. There's too much. First of all, there's too much out there for you to like. It's not a year where he can get away with the excuse. There really wasn't much out there. We didn't have a lot of options. Whatever. There are options galore, not just free agents, guys. The trade market, if you guys have been paying attention the last week or two, the trade market is already starting to take shape. Yep. And we're not, like I told you guys, we're not even in the real heat of it yet.
Yep.
This is really early for us to already have an idea that the Oakland A's are going to be shopping Chapman and probably Olsen and maybe some other pieces. It's really early for us to hear that there's a possibility that Cleveland might entertain offers on Jose Ramirez. Like, there's going to be a lot of players to be had. Yep. Cashman will not be able to hide behind there weren't enough options because on top of all the players available to be had, there's a lot of teams who are not necessarily punting, but they're not going to be in the market the way that the Yankees are, the way that the Mets are, the way that Detroit will be, the way that the Angels will be, the way that the Texas Rangers are going to be. Like, I just named 5 teams? Just like
yeah.
That's 5 teams. And
we're not even talking about the DH in the National League yet. That's going to open up for a lot of guys.
It's going to open up a lot in terms of trades from the Yankees. Like Sanchez, even Luke Voit. Like, that's why it's true.
Miguel Andujar.
Andujar's another guy.
I mean, look, if I'm a team out there that's like maybe we get some value in somebody and build them back, I'm looking all over Miguel Andujar. 100% could be a DH. Come on, man. The guy could put the ball in play. He hits the ball hard. Sign me up.
He's not going to cost you. He's not going to cost you much.
Let's not forget too how hot he was getting before the injury. Yeah. Miguel Andujar was one of the regulars in the lineup. He took that spot again. So he was battling himself back again. So
he's a hitter. The thing with Andujar is Miguel Andujar is a natural hitter, so he's going to figure it out. And I think anybody who's watched him so far in his young career realizes if this guy can stay healthy, he's going to hit. He's just going to be one of those guys. He's a hitter. He looks hitterish up there, and he produces.
Right. And again, I'm not saying that because, look, we're looking for some beautiful trade. No, guys.
No, it's not going to be.
We're just
not going to trade him for Olsen.
Right. But the one thing I'll give Brian Cashman some credit for, and the analytic guys, is they found some guys for nothing, right? Look, if Clay Holmes could be one of the best relief pitchers in baseball next year, per his stuff alone, how he looked with the Yankees. Look what we gave up for him. Look what we gave up for him. So again, when you guys say, well, these guys aren't worth anything, Hoy Park wasn't really worth much. He had AAA numbers.
The Yankees didn't even want to play him. Think about it.
That too, and the Yankees had nothing for him. They didn't like him. The analytics team said, no, we don't like him at all.
Exactly. His value couldn't have been that high because his own team devalued him publicly.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think he can come up here and hit.
And they still got Clay Holmes for him.
Clay Holmes.
That's That's again, like you just said, like I think we've been pretty fair with Brian Cashman. Like when he does make good moves, we have been, at the forefront saying, hey, that was a great move. Good job. Like, or whatever. Like, so we've been doing it. What we're saying now is we have to see. Like,
No,
I told you guys.
Now is just a different level. It's
we have to see.
There got to be a reconstruction of this roster.
Yeah, I told you guys.
That.
I feel optimistic. The reason I feel optimistic is because of the deadline that we had. But me saying I feel optimistic isn't me telling you guys, nah, they 100% signing Correa.
Until we find out the deadline was the offseason.
Exactly. Or they'd be like, they 100% going to sign Starling Marte, or they're going to 100% trade for Ketel Marte. They 100% going to move Gary. They 100%. No. I'm not 100% on anything. I feel optimistic. Why? Because I am choosing to feel optimism because of the deadline that they had. But that doesn't mean shit until we start seeing where they're going. And we're going to start seeing that very little in a very incremental way early in December. Let's see what happens with the tenders, the non-tenders or whatever. Again, like Pete said, if they tender Sanchez, if they tender Andujar, that doesn't necessarily
I will tell you right now, bro. And again, like you said, like I think you were about to say, if they tender him, they can still get him back.
No, like they can still trade him, right? Like
right. You can still trade him and move him. But my thing is,
that's a good point to be made. They can still move these guys.
If the Yankees really make that decision, guys, I will tell you right now, even with Boone coming back, the start is good. I'd go for my F-, which is not even a real thing, but an F- to a C.
Which is a huge jump. It's a huge jump.
Immediately. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Francis, I'll hang out with you a little bit on that optimism boat.
Yeah, because you'll start seeing some difference.
I'll hang out with you a little bit on that, but we'll be out to sea together, and we'll just wait around and see what happens.
See what the water's like.
See what the waters are like. I'll wait out there with you, because at that moment, I'm already seeing, to me, in my opinion of the club, one of their biggest problems have now gone away. And they will go for a catcher that's defensive-minded more. 100%. Because if they move on from Gary, that's what that's telling you.
Exactly. If they're not going to get an
they don't need him. They don't want him no more. They're not going to bring in another guy that can't catch and hits a little bit. They won't do that. Yeah. And look, I'll throw this name out there too. Keep a close eye on Mike Zunino. The option hasn't been exercised yet.
No.
Keep a close eye on that. If Zunino is ever available, the Yankees need to immediately act on him.
Hell yeah.
I don't care if they say we got to wait. Have a handshake agreement. Have something in place with dude to say, we want you here.
No, and he's one of those interesting cases who he is a possibility that if you jumped on him quick enough,
maybe you get him.
He might accept the deal. Why? Because of all the uncertainty with the CBA and everything. And some guys, Zunino's not a young kid. He's a veteran. Like, he might just want to know, I need to know where I'm playing. So, like, let's do this quickly. If this is going to work, let's do it. I can get my family situated and everything. Let them work out that CBA. But I know where I'm going come February, because he's a catcher. So he's going to he reports early. Like, he might be one of those players who wants to get in early.
Well, forget about him. He actually is back with the race. So that's not happening.
He exercised the option.
They gave him a 1 year, $7 million deal.
Good for him. Look at that. He gets $7 million, and these people are getting mad because I'm saying that I don't want to pay Gary Sanchez over $10 million to do what he does.
It's crazy. No way.
Like, no way.
Why? Come on.
Why should we?
They shouldn't.
It's not worth it. I'd rather pay $10 million to Zunino.
Yeah, non-tender Gary. If you could deal him, you deal him. You get what you get for him. Seriously, and guys, you move on. You know what you do? Be a Gary Sanchez supporter. And hope he catches on somewhere and does well. That's the best thing you can do, because that's what I am going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to shit on Gary Sanchez when he's playing somewhere. I hope Gary Sanchez does well.
Guys.
Simple as that.
Guys, when we traded for Sonny Gray, I was one of the happier Yankee fans around. I always liked Sonny Gray.
Felix crushed me on that damn deal, man. He was right. It still bothers me to this day that I got to say he was right over me.
I always liked him. Always liked him, because I saw the potential in the kid. He came over here, couldn't cut it in New York, had some awkward moments, walking on the mound, smiling or whatever, but he has a lot of things, with him going on. So that was a whole. When he got traded, when he left and he got to Cincinnati, I was rooting for him to be successful. When he found a little bit of success over there, I was really happy for him.
Bro,
he wasn't doing it for the Yankees, but I don't care.
I recorded a video driving home when he was traded. I remember saying exactly that. I said, now, let me tell you guys this. Don't be shocked if he goes over there and becomes an ace. Don't be shocked. And he did. And he immediately he was one of the better pitchers in the National League immediately. So
some people need to
that could happen with Gary.
scenery. Of course, that can happen with Gary. I think you'll see a change in Gary immediately if he's out of New York. Just not having to deal with the media, being out of the eye. Like a lot of the criticism is not going to be the same. In New York, you feel the criticism. When you're playing for the Yankees, you can feel the criticism.
Gary
if
Sanchez
will just take Colorado.
He will take a big breath in and a breath out, and it feel like his world has changed.
Yeah, it's different. And I think I said the same thing like with a guy like Gleyber Torres. I was like, look, it's not saying, oh, Trey move Gleyber because he's going to be terrible the rest of his career. No, there's a difference between saying a guy is just like with Aaron Hicks. I just think Hicks is just ass. Like Aaron Hicks, I don't think he will be better in other places. I just think he's not good. Like I want that to come off clearly. I think Gary Sanchez has the potential to go somewhere else and still become an all-star.
Yep.
I 100% think if Gleyber Torres went somewhere else, he would definitely become an all-star. When I speak about them, it's just the fit with this current roster. That's all I'm saying. It's not saying that these guys are bad. That's not what I'm saying.
Correct.
Even Gallo, like with the criticism that we have for Gallo, it's like he was just fine in Texas doing that because he fit over there. It made sense over there. Like it's not always that a player is – no, they're just never going to be good.
Guys,
no, it's that they don't fit with us.
That too. And do you want to know the difference of the media? None of us knew about a Gallo tick or these little problems he has. He came to New York and it was a big story immediately.
All year.
So, I mean, and again, we don't know how that's going to affect him personally. I talked about this a lot. We don't know how that's going to affect the player. We don't know if he can handle all of this. We don't know that. Those are stuff we got to see. And that's why Kevin Kernan even said he is shocked or he doesn't know. He said, I don't know, but I assume either analytics has taken over so much or scouts who notice stuff don't get brought into a room where that conversation is not as valued as it used to be. Because look, coming to New York, a big part about it is your personality. And, 100%. Me and Francis, we were going back and forth on the whole Cole situation. And one of the things I brought up, I said, well, if the Yankees knew this guy was awkward or couldn't handle this, then he shouldn't be here. And I mean, that's the same thing for a lot. And again, we don't know. We don't know what Cole is.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think they do their homework with that. Though. That's one thing that Kernan said. That Kernan said that I think is 100% true. I don't think that they're doing their homework with that because like with Garrett Cole, like here's the reason I get off saying with Garrett Cole, like saying like, oh, this guy's he's a weirdo, he's awkward. What? I read an article about him in Pittsburgh where he did something weird after getting shelled one time. Not like he didn't blow up or anything, but like he got upset with like a reporter who like questioned him about like the outing. It was a pretty bad outing. Something similar happened in Houston. And after that happened, I was like, I'm going to watch this guy closer. Cause like, I like him. Like I wanted him to be a Yankee. So like, now I'm like, I'm going to watch this guy close, whatever. And I would just see him like in the dugout times or like even whatever, like in the bullpen, whatever. And like just the way he would act. And I'm just like, yeah, this guy's a little bit of a weirdo, but I still would sign him to the deal that we signed him to 10 times out of 10, because that's not something that I think should preclude us from signing a guy with his talent level. I just think it's something you need to be aware of, right? Because if you know that, then maybe you go into the clubhouse and say, oh, Brett, look, I know you play these pranks on everybody, but like him, he's a little like, I would, steer clear of him, or, get him in on it first, like work him into it. Cause he's a little, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if you don't tell him that, then he's just going in blind. He's just going to do whatever. Or if you don't say, hey guys, by the way, Joey Gallo's going to be here, whatever, we don't want you guys, putting certain things out about him. Cause like, we think it's insensitive, like to put out things about his tick or like the way he puts on his uniform. But if you don't say anything, then the media is going to take it and run with it. Like these are just consequences of you not doing homework, I guess, in a sense, because if you do, you can protect players in a sense. Yep. If you don't, they're going to get vilified. New York media is cutthroat. They're going to vilify these guys.
They're no joke. They'll attack them. They go at them. So
imagine they sign Corey Seager and Corey Seager is like shy or some shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They're going to kill him. And it would be like, well, the Yankees didn't do their homework. Like before they signed him, like what's going on here? Like,
so it's just, it's a big part. It's a big part of the game. It's a big part of the game. So I mean that is something that obviously should be discussed and should be talked about more. Now I hope that it actually is. But moving on to, I believe, what will be our last topic today. Everybody's hype about this.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say it real quick and talk about it. Carlos Correa is in the
Big
Madison
Apple.
Square Garden tonight
Yeah.
and attending the UFC event. And Martin Maldonado send out the thing about what was it again? He's ready or something like that. And yeah, he had the little Yankee jacket on and all that, and he's in New York, so he's a smart dude. He has everybody always jokes about like the type of attitude he is. Let me tell you what type of attitude Carlos Correa is. And people are gonna get mad. Oh, he's a cheater. And let me tell you something. I know these type of people like that, and it's called confidence, guys. It's called confidence. It's not necessarily cocky. It's not necessarily I see people read confidence at all different levels. They think it's like self-centered. It's this and that. He's a confident dude, and he knows what he has coming to him. He knows that. Next week, don't be shocked if you see him in an Angels hat. Then again, he might rock the Yankees so hard that he's like, guys, I want to, like, I'm trying to show you as much as I want to be there. Let's get this shit done. Like, I want to be here. Never know. You never know. But all I'm saying right now, me and Francis talked about this a little bit. I don't want to make this all about Correa, so I'm gonna bring the big man into the story. Lock up Judge before you give Correa a big deal. That's all I'm saying. Now, I know some fans are probably saying, well, Pete, they probably can't do it. Well, then you better make your fucking mind up. To be quite real with you. Going back to what even David Cohn said with his new thing with John Boy Media over there, that if, you don't re-sign Judge as your top priority, trade him. Trade him.
I mean, listen, guys, some of you guys don't want to hear it. We were saying it back before the deadline. Like, the Yankees were playing badly, and we were like, hey, is it time to consider trading Aaron Judge because of how badly they were playing? And seeing
remember,
what you could get.
One of the main reasons we said that too is because we said they're not looking to sign him, right?
We was like, clearly they haven't had extension talks with him, and it's like, it's a problem. Let me put it out here just so you guys understand. The designated Spittaz, and I know this because I've spoken with Pete about this off the air countless times. We do not want Aaron Judge to be on any other team than the New York Yankees.
Fact.
So understand us 100%. We think that this guy is a Yankee and he needs to be a Yankee. What we are saying is the Yankees have dilly-dallied long enough. Like, these extension talks should have started before last winter. Like, if they don't happen this winter, I mean, guys, can you really be upset if Aaron Judge goes and chooses another team in free agency? It's a joke. His guys, he's had to sit there and watch Garrett Cole get paid, which is it's not a knock on Garrett Cole, but it's like, for Judge, it's like, hey man, I've been here. Like, congrats to you, Cole. I'm happy you're here because you're gonna help us win the championship, hopefully. But I gotta get paid too, right? No, then he had to watch Aaron Hicks get extended. Then he had to watch Severino get extended. Yeah, and it's just like, I mean,
it's not
this
right.
This offseason, they're going to spend some more money. It's like, if you're Aaron Judge, guys. It's like, bro, what do I got to do to get some consideration out here?
Me and Francis want the sexy new name as much as everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. We want to talk about it on here with you guys. So trust me when I tell you that we want the sexy new name too. Yeah. You can't pull that shit on Judge though. I'm going to keep it real.
Take care of him.
You can't bring in Carlos Correa. And guys, I'm not even talking about that. I see so many people talk, oh, you can't bring Correa in because what he did. Man, shut up. Shut up.
That shit don't got nothing.
You bring Carlos Correa in if you want to bring Carlos Correa's ass in. And Yankees
it's not like the players are going to sit there and shut up. They keep.
Trust me, bro. Bro, if they got Correa, you're going to see fans on Twitter saying, I hope he apologizes to them before anything. Shut up.
He ain't
got shit to apologize for if he comes to the Yankees.
Apologize
I understand.
For nothing.
Look, I get it. Everybody can be mad about it. I'm mad about it. I understand. But we about to enter 2022. Okay? Yeah, it is what it is. The commission ain't doing shit about it. None of that was going to happen. You bring that type of talent to this club. Look, all you got to do, though, you can't throw out another major contract and be like, hey, Judge, we're going to hold off and we'll talk to you next year. Because if I'm Judge, I don't care how much I love the Yankees. I'm sorry, fam. I'm out to Cali. Cali.
You got to.
Simple as that. I'm going back home. I'm done. That's disrespect.
Aaron Judge was asked about this towards the end of this season. Maybe some of you heard it, but he was asked about like the contract talks or if anything's happened, whatever. And he said, no, it hasn't happened. And yeah, it is a little, weird that it hasn't happened yet, but I understand, it's a business, whatever. And I'd like to be a Yankee. Of course, I want to finish my career here. Of course, he said all the right things, But yeah, it's time for the Yankees to start saying all the right things. Like, hey, Aaron, what's it gonna take? Let's understand. We understand. You understand. We want you here. We understand you want to be here. Let's figure out what it's gonna take to make that happen.
They're playing cheap. Let's be real. They know the arbitration number is going to be lower than what his his AAV is going to be.
For sure.
Everybody knows that. 17, 18 million, whatever it is, that's not going to be what it's going to take to sign Aaron Judge.
It's not going to be his
The Yankees
AAV,
are holding it out. They're holding out as long as they can.
Here's the thing. The reason that players get extended is because they earn it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's just, the Yankees signing people. Aaron Judge has looked at a lot of people get extended on big deals.
That's facts.
Right?
That's facts.
It's not just the Yankees. He saw Acuna get extended.
That's facts.
He saw Tatis get extended.
That's facts.
He saw, so it's like, he's looking at these other guys. He's like, whoa, like what's happening here? Like these guys are getting paid or whatever. Like I'm playing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to be one of the top 10 players in baseball, and then in terms of like just hitters, like when he's on, he's probably top 5, and you're like the only one who's not getting paid like it. Like it's tough, and he's not 24, 25. He's 30 years old.
This contract, this could be it. This will probably be it for him.
This
will probably be it.
The contract that Aaron Judge is going to get, either with the Yankees or with another team, this offseason or after next season, this will be his career contract. Like this is it. This is where he will make the brunt of his money as a baseball player.
That's right.
It's important to, incentivize him, say, hey, look, Judge, you've fucking been here. You've been putting up numbers, let's get out ahead of it. We're going to up, screw the arbitration. We're going to up your AAV to whatever the contract is going to be this year. And we're going to extend you however many years. This is what it's going to be. Right.
Yep.
I mean, when he's your own player, 1, and he wants to be there, 2, like you're probably not going to have to pay him $30 million a year to get him to stay. But if you freaking wait until next year, you never know what could happen. You might have to overpay him because he might be embittered.
That's right.
And when on top, and then factor that with the possibility that he could just go back to his home state of California and get paid ridiculous amounts of money to play for the Angels, because the Angels would love nothing more than to pair Aaron Judge with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Or the Giants who have money to spend.
The Giants want that big home run hitter back.
Come on, bro. Like it's gonna be hard for him to turn all that down. And this is not a guy who said, no matter what, I'm testing the waters of free agency. When I heard him questions about that towards the end of the season, he gave off the complete vibe that it's like, no, I've actually been looking for these extension talks.
Right.
They just haven't happened. And it's like, it's sad. It's not sad more than anything. It's fucked up.
He's playing, and in reality, he's playing a good guy role because he could be an asshole about it.
He could be an asshole about it.
So
because look at how speaking of the guy we're talking about today, Correa, right? When everything came out last year at the beginning of the year with Correa and the Astros that they were far off on a number, Correa came out and was straight up with his shit, saying like, we far off on a number. I feel like the offer was disrespectful. Like, these conversations were public at the beginning of last season. Yeah. Like before the season even got underway, people were saying, Correa's gone.
Well, even his last game, he was like, this is it.
Yeah.
We're done.
He came out and said what was going on, whatever. Aaron Judge hasn't come out and said, they had to ask him, hey, we haven't heard of any extension talks. Have there been any extension talk? Because he hasn't come out. He's not on Twitter. He's not doing anything saying like, these people don't want to pay me or whatever. And if he was doing that, he would be, within his right to do it, but he hasn't. Instead, he's been a stand-up guy. He's been an amazing face of the team. And aside from all that off the field shit, he's been their best player on the field. Yeah. He has been their best player on the field. There's no argument about it. Even after Garrett Cole signed, Judge has continued to be the best player on the team for these first 2 years of Garrett's contract. Yep. You can't argue that. No. This kid deserves to get his money. I'm not saying to give him a 10-year deal. No. He does not get a 10-year deal. It's not anyone's fault. I mean, he came up later, he came up older. That's what happens. He's not a 10-year he's not a 10-year deal guy. But he deserves to get his money. He deserves to get his pay. He deserves to, get his shit. So they should do that. But speaking about Correa being in the Big Apple, I mean, Twitter was in a frenzy because he had on the navy blue jacket with the white sleeves. He's in New York. He posted up a picture with the caption NYC time. Everybody's going crazy. It was like, oh my God, whatever. Listen. guys, this is gonna be fun. It might end in heartbreak for some of us fans who have a higher, whose hopes are higher that the Yankees do sign Correa. What I will say is that from my 20%, I think I moved up to maybe like 25, 27%, 30%. I'll be generous. 30% chance that the Yankees sign Correa. I'll say why I went up. Because if Correa continues doing this shit, it kind of like forces them because of PR, right?
Right.
Even if they didn't really want to even take a meeting with the guy now, it's going to be like, if he keeps doing this, like, and we don't meet, like, this is going to look really freaking bad with the glaring hole that we have at shortstop. And this guy frolicking around New York in Yankee colors, commenting NYC time and all this stuff. Like, so if he continues to push, like, yeah, it's gonna force the Yankees' hand.
And I think we can make the announcement now. I think we could say this with confidence. Carlos Correa wants to be a Yankee. I don't think not even based off of what happened today. I think he's mentioned many times before.
Yeah.
That I think there's actually quotes of him being like, who doesn't, want to play there or whatever, or the Yankees, Yankees. He said it multiple times. So
this stuff is out there, guys. I mean, with everything, him going to Houston and everything, like that stuff kind of got put OD on the back burner. Like people didn't want to hear it, but now that he's a free agent, I think all that stuff's gonna come up. I mean, he's a Puerto Rican kid, grew up over there.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, guys, let's be honest. Like a lot of people coming from Puerto Rico are gonna say, yeah, like I always wanted to play for the Yankees and stuff like that or whatever. He is just like really hamming it up. I mean, we're only in November and it's just like, yeah, he's like, oh, MSG, I'm there, baby, watching my UFC fight. I'm gonna throw on this navy jacket with the white sleeves. They already know what colors these are. Tomorrow, like you said, he might throw on the Angels out.
No,
I
think it was actually a Yankee jacket.
No, it was. So you might have saw the picture.
Was that a fake one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the fake on it. Yeah. I saw the patch on it.
They put the Yankee patch on it.
Oh, okay. So I got faked out on that one.
Yeah, no, he wasn't wilding like that.
Okay. I thought he was going full steam. Like, what's good?
Yeah, no.
Sign me.
But the colors, he knew what he was doing. He put the colors on. He's there, whatever.
See, if I was as good as a player as Carlos Correa, let me tell you this right now. I'd walk around with an empty briefcase. Remember the wrestler IRS?
Carlos, what's in the bag? Yeah.
What's in the bag? You're gonna find out very soon.
Yeah, really soon.
You're gonna find out very soon what's in the bag.
Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna tell him. I'll tell him, put it in the bag.
You show up to the meeting. You show up to
put
Carlos,
it in the bag.
So what's it gonna take? Well, you have to fill this up.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it's gonna take. Let's talk.
Boop,
after you fill this up, we start talking about years and all that other stuff.
Right. We'll have a conversation.
Nah, man. Look, again. I'm not high on it, not because Carlos Correa is not a good player, whatever. I think we both said we think he's a great player. Not that we don't think he's a fit. We think he's an amazing fit. Yes, I know he's right-handed or whatever. That when it comes to Carlos Correa, like that has no bearing on anything. The glove is too freaking good, and the bat is too freaking good. The postseason prowess is too freaking good. Like it's too, and he's 27 years old. Like,
and the thing that a lot of Yankee fans don't like, I love it. I want the attitude.
Same.
I want the personality. I want the chip on the shoulder. I want the we're better than you. I want all of that. I want all that confidence rubbing off on these guys because they don't have it. And the manager doesn't supply it.
Yeah,
so,
no, we're missing that. We're missing that kind of swag. And don't get me wrong, I know Judge tried it. People have tried it. But Correa is a natural
Put the boombox away, fam.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Correa is natural with it. Like, listen, when the Astros were, I said it before, I'm going to say it one more time before I jump, like whatever, before I end my comments on this. When the Astros were playing the Red Sox, I saw something, and I can't unsee it. Jared Carrabis hates Carlos Correa, and he is the pulse of Red Sox Nation. The Red Sox hate Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Once I realized how much they hated that guy, I've never wanted a man because that's not my, whatever. But I think I began to want the man. I said, wait. They hate him? They really dislike him? All the times up, they don't like that? I was like, oh, no. God, please, we have to sign this guy. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah. That
is exactly what we need. I need the guy that all he has to do is step up to bat in the top of the first inning at Fenway, and they are raining the boos on him. That's what I need. Give me that fire, because that's gonna light a fire under all these guys' asses.
Facts.
That's gonna do it, because like you said, our manager's not gonna do that.
He's not gonna do it.
Listen, we all know that's not gonna come from there. Maybe we get a player like that. We got shot. We got a shot. That's hope.
It'll help.
That's
no
hope.
doubt about it.
But again, my percentage is low because we know what we're dealing with here. Again, they can surprise the shit out of us.
No, of course. That's always an option. That's always an option. I hope they do. Like I said, I'm not gonna look, guys. I ranted all year. Trust me. I don't want to go into the off season all the way into the season ranting and complaining about what the Yankees should have done. Either way, I'm gonna give them their shot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give them their fair share, and I'm gonna call it like I see it. That's just what I do. But I will have to call the offseason the way I see it, and I'm going to stick to my guns. If there's not multiple changes made, the way I like, the way the team should be, the way I know they need to be constructed better, I'm gonna let my spit tell you what I think, and we'll go from there. But I mean, with that being said, I mean, I'm wrapping this thing up. I don't have nothing else to add. I'm amazed I'm still awake. There was a couple of times where I feel like I'm like, oh man.
It's like it's hitting them drugs.
I handled it well, though. I handled it well. I think
you did.
Good,
I think you did really good, man.
I didn't think I told friends before I got in this thing. I'm like, fam, we might have to go for like 45 minutes because I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the whole thing. But nah, man, here I am. And the recovery, I take things as a challenge, man. And I was talking to somebody, and thank you to all you guys on Twitter and that like hitting me up that had like rotator cuff surgery and all these other things. A lot of people messaging me, and one guy got me pretty hyped today because he's like, Pete, what did the doctor tell you about like your shoulders and stuff? So I also got a tear in this one, but I got tears in both.
Man.
But this one's not as bad. This one could just heal. But this one is all destroyed. And he said to me, he goes, Pete, the great thing about this? I said, what? He goes, you never really understand how strong you are. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, since you've had the tears before, you can't do the type of weights and everything that you're used to doing. So he's like, when you're fully healed and you're at that level again, you'll be surprised how much working out you've been doing that you're actually going to start feeling then. And I'm like, I never really thought about that. Because he's like, yeah, the big thing is like he had it. He actually had the whole rotator cuff surgery and all that. He's like, it took me 6 to 7 months to feel fully, better again. And he's like, at least that you're healed, that there's not damage there anymore. So that's like a real breath of fresh air. But I tell you what, wearing this thing while you sleep and everything, man, it's hard. It's not hard, fam. It is hard, man. Then my elbow, because it's like this all day, that shit gets like locked, and I got to finally try to stretch it. It sucks. But anybody who has any suggestions that have been through it, hit me up. I could take any advice because, again, I like to learn. So if you guys have anything at all about having torn everything in there, dislocation, months of recovery, let me know.
They're going to suggest all the drugs in the world.
All the drugs in the world, man. That's what it is.
They're going to suggest. They're going to be like, yo, Pete, you got to get high, bro.
Fam, that's what it's been. That's what I'm telling you, man. Like, I did not think I was making it through this. So after this, I am literally showering and knocking out cold, and I'm done. I worked. I mean, I don't want to say this right here, but you guys on the background of NY News knows we got a lot of new things coming to the channel, and that's all I did all day today. I worked on new templates, new designs. Designated Spittaz is going to have a brand new revamp. So nothing's changing. It's going to be us, but the whole design is going to look way better. Where do you guys see it?
Fire stuff.
All that's going to be here, and all the fun stuff's going to happen. So, Francis, take it away with the great closing. Sir.
Y'all already know, guys. Tune in because the next episode is the best episode.
I love it. And you guys know we will never come whack on a Designated Spittaz track. You guys know the deal. Again, guys, appreciate you, and we'll talk to you all again very, very soon. Thank you.
Tell me what you want.